me, bitch.
I'm gonna drive one of these into the ocean. Do I look cool?
Extremely.
It's too fast. I would argue that this is very dangerous. Like, it looks like a nerd mobile, and then you touch it and you're like, ugh! Get in here. You're in, dude. This isn't like, we're not really professional about this. We just loosely vlog. And ever since Lucas died in a tragic camera accident.
On a Vespa?
Yeah, he died on this Vespa, and then I fixed it up and repurposed it.
Fun, right?
I really gotta start stretching my hips because they're cramping a substantial amount. It's a good prep for the show, though, right?
Oh, 100%. We're taking this to the show, right?
Yeah, I'm driving it on stage.
It's a great idea.
Dude, imagine the host brings me up and I'm just like, like last time heavy machinery like this was in this hotel, the 9/11 hijackers were staying here.
I told him about that.
That's just something we're gonna have to talk about throughout this episode of Spots, because we just found out that 2 of the hijackers from 9/11, if you choose to believe the story, were staying at the hotel that I will be performing in the lobby of tonight. I'm excited. Who's gonna make a bigger explosion? Dude, I have I ate 17 bugs. I have like...
Oh, it's a particularly buggy night, too. Let me see if you got any in your face.
Do I?
No, you're good.
I'm fucking jacked, man. Between the Monster Energy drink and that hog between my legs. Sounds like I'm talking about my dick. Yeah. I finally know what it's like to have a huge dick.
First person who ever rode a Vespa to say that.
I bet that's true. Yeah, to everybody else, that's like a cuckmobile, but to me, that is the ultimate alpha ride. You're coming over, right?
Yeah, we're there. Yeah, we got tickets. Can't wait.
Hell yeah. Very nice. Thank you so much. The dog stepped right on my shoe, and I almost booted it right in the face.
What are your plans for this 9/11 reference?
Dude, yeah, so I guess we kind of talked about it on the Vespa, but this the hotel that I'm about to perform in front of was briefly a home to 2 of the 9/11 hijackers. They came here in March of 2001, plotted a successful attempt at terrory, and now I am also going to follow that up with an act of terrorism tonight. I don't know how I'm going to bring it up. I feel like people are going to be very upset by just the reminder of it, but I feel like I should be more upset since I'm from New York. Mm-hmm. You know? It's like, what, are they going to mope and, come on, man, don't bring that up. It's like, it was my building.
I worked there.
Yeah, my father did.
Really?
My dad worked there during the first bombing in the early 90s in the basement, and then I actually thought he still worked there when it happened. So we were notified in like art, I think I was in art class in sophomore or junior year of high school, I think sophomore, and I called my mom and was like, hey mom, like this is when still people didn't know what was happening. There was just a plane that we heard like a plane hit the tower and we assumed like it was a small little private whatever, and it just kind of like hit the thing and then fell onto the street and maybe like nicked a kid's knee. But I called my mom and I was like, hey, does Dad still work at the World Trade Center? And she just started hysterically crying, and I was like, well, Dad's dead. The Circle. Imagine they like named this hotel the Fallen Tower. Or the Jenga Hotel. Oh, I knew I was gonna skim the bottom of that. God damn it. Should we introduce Alex Pavone and Beecher? We might as well.
How are you?
Alex Pavone, hilarious Canadian. Beecher, he's actually one of the leftover hijackers.
Care to comment?
Not at all.
I've had comics when I hosted years ago. They'd be like, "Can I have like an 8-minute light?" And I'm like, "You're doing 12 minutes. If you want me to light you 4 minutes in, so you have 8 minutes till you're done." They're like, "Yeah." All right, Sparky. Are you gonna get this? Watch. Little pre-show. I'm now like, because all I've been doing is running short sets and trying to like do sections of the hour. So it feels like all this stuff is good and like ready and punchy and stuff, but I haven't done any of the transitions to make it a whole piece in a while. The early show at this club, I've never done well on. Like, never once in the history of me doing stand-up comedy. I always bomb on the first one, and then the second one is usually really good. So I have 2 friends in the audience here specifically for the early show, so we'll see. Now it's like all the new stuff about my son that I've written that has taken out some of like the jerk-off shit that filled time when I thought I had an hour. Like, I was like, yeah, I got an hour, dude. And then I listened to the last 28 minutes, and it's all cum. It's like 100% just a thick globule of cum as jokes. But now at least it's got 6 new minutes of my son to divide the cum. And my son used to be cum, which is pretty cool.
Well, now my wife and my son and I, we just got a home, which is great. It's big because...
Where?
I'll give you my address right after. I'll let you know. It's in a part of New York called Mind Your Goddamn Business. I'm just kidding. You have the biggest boyfriend I've ever seen in my entire life. His arms make no sense. I've never seen anything like that here in my entire life. I know.
So you have to say.
What?
You have to tell us.
I have to tell you? I'll tell you after, Jesus Christ. But I've never seen arms quite like that, dude, because your shoulders are massive. They look proportionate, and then something happened to your biceps. Where, like, you just put in a fucking... Did you get butt injections in your bicep? You got that Nicki Minaj right here. Pretty sweet, or you just straight up curl every time she pisses you off. Oh, God damn it, she's asking where people live again.
That's just...
It doesn't matter what they have. They just pick up.
I saw that one guy with the suit on, and I was about to trash. Like, who the fuck would ever get married? Like, before I even walked out the door. And then I look, and there's some bride cracking a butt heavy, and I'm like, all of this makes sense. So that went all right, you know? I just, yeah, I think it's... This is not where I'm gonna get the tape anyway. Which, by the way, I'm doing...
Take your time. What's your rose and your thorn from your first show?
My rose and my thorn? My thorn being that, maybe he'll watch this, but it's a guy from my high school sitting in the front row, and he was the drunkest person I've ever seen in real life. Like, it looked like movie drunk. Like, sometimes I do drunk person impressions while I was don't even understand. And people are like, that's like, nobody behaves like that. And that's the exact tone of his voice. Like, his eyes were rolling back a little bit, and he had that full, like, Bambi legs, and he was just like wouldn't say anything, just did the thing. And I was like, how long do I have to have this conversation? Because he's not going to remember it. So I just, like, hugged him, and I was like, I gotta go. It just, like, kind of faded into the background. People feel really free about, like, yelling out and asking questions, right? It's like, that's what also makes that not an unusable set, but, like, where do you live? It's like, what?
The weirdest things.
It's like, what? Like, listen, I know you're hot, and you're used to this being okay, and you're sitting next to a human Bebop and Rocksteady from Ninja Turtles or whatever, but, like, there's no world in which this is acceptable.
And your rose?
Is that it's 58 minutes. That's my rose. Is that like, you know, even with all the stuff, and I feel like it'll flex and maybe even cut some stuff out. But I was considering pulling up and not doing the whole thing, like that whole last chunk. But I was like, I might as well run it just to see how long the whole thing is. And I thought it was going to be an hour 5, to be perfectly honest. But it ended up 58. I'm pretty happy. What a pathetic bunch of fucking losers. To have a wedding in the hotel where the hijackers from 9/11 stayed? Could you imagine that? Do you think that was on their save the date? It's them two and Muhammad Atta in front of some burning buildings, and they're like, just remember, September 25th. November! Congratulations! They were really rude about me just saying.
Right, like, and what we can think about it, she didn't put the toothbrush back in the paper spot. And 2, she would put a lot, a ton of toothpaste.
I just yelled congratulations to them.
To the wedding.
To the wedding, and they all looked at me like I was a piece of shit.
That's how this is starting.
And then he got crushed inside of the doors on the way.
I was hoping you didn't see that while you're recording.
That's hilarious. What door smushed you?
Close the fucking open the automatic door. That is that's like a movie moment. It's just like embarrassed by the no response. Thought I was doing something sweet, was completely genuine, and now it dawns on me that they see me filming myself, so they probably think I'm like trying to make an ass out of them.
Yeah.
And that's why they looked at me like I was a goof. Meanwhile, I'm totally serious, and then I'm like, robot.
I gotta be honest with you guys, right? Before I got up here, I kind of really thoroughly embarrassed myself in front of the wedding outside. Is anybody here from that party? No. Okay. But I did, because I was genuine. I wanted to say congratulations, you know? I was like, hey, congratulations! And they all looked at me like I was the biggest piece of shit on earth. And I realized it's because I have a camera person following me, so they probably thought I was mocking them. And I wasn't. They gave me the stink eye. I looked back at them shocked, and then turned, and the doors closed on my shoulders. And I was like, oh, and just kind of shimmied in here with no self-confidence whatsoever. So, you know, this might be a rough set. We'll see, though. It's cool that they decided to get married at the hotel where 2 9/11 hijackers once stayed. Did you guys not know that? Is that not on the brochure? Famous friends. I was one of those kids that performed in front of company. When I was a kid, have you ever been to those like social gatherings where the parents will like wheel out their fat, untalented kid? And they'll be like, Spencer, do the thing you do! Do the thing! I'd come out and I'd be like, Mom! There's no business like show. I used to have to sing romantic duets with my older sister. It's a real thing. I used to harmonize to a whole new world. With my parents just being like, you're flat, Michael, you're flat! I don't feel the chemistry. Look your sister in the eye! I need to believe you want to fuck her.
He looks like Jackie Chan in Rumble in the Bronx when he's back against the wall. He's gonna chop his way out of there.
Now we're heading back into New York after doing 2 shows at Fairfield. Alex, how do you feel?
I had too many Bud Lights.
A few too many Bud Lights. This is where I'm going. And now we're going to do a 12:30 a.m. spot at New York Comedy Club on 24th Street. Is there really any reason I needed to do this besides pure addiction and like convincing myself I'll never make $1 again? So I must soak up the extra however many bucks.
How do you feel the shows went tonight?
I think we got some work done. I think that's it. I feel productive. I feel like yeah, I got a little bit of a handle on some of the open stuff that I wasn't necessarily confident in. And so that's why you do it, you know? That's why you do it. How do you feel the shows went, Alex?
I thought you did great.
I'm not talking about me.
I am.
Yeah, but what about you? You're as equal. You're as equally important on my vlog.
Are you all from Algeria? You? Take a guess. This never goes well. Hey, white guy, guess what the brown guy is? Swiss. If I had to guess, and I think you're making me, I'm gonna say, and it's kind of the Crips and Bloods, but either Puerto Rican or Dominican. I'm wrong.
I'm Pakistani.
You're Pakistani. Disgusting. Bangladesh. Okay, cool. I don't know. A Bangladeshi. Are you as well?
Yeah.
Very cool. Nice. Both of you are losing confidence. He's like, yes, I am. And he's like, that's cool. Did you live there and then you moved here? No, you're just here.
Yeah.
For your whole life, but your family's
Not New York, but
not New York.
U.S.
That's cool, man. Very cool. And what about you, dude?
Ethiopian Eritrea.
Nice. You had that cocked, ready to go. He's like, I've seen what's happened. I've seen what comes from hesitation. I've seen what comes from guess. Let's see what happens with a straight answer. I'll tell you, absolutely nothing. That's very cool, though, man. This has been pretty fun. I don't know why I just went around kind of asking where people are from. But this was a worthwhile endeavor. What happened, Georgia? Is this your first Ethiopian? Where the fuck you say? Man, that's cool as shit, dude. Fucking New York. Surprise around every corner. Alright, I think that's my time. Thank you very much.
That was some way to end it. I don't know, like, that was just a crowd where they were so, first of all, so amped and hot, but they also were shit-faced where they were talking to each other. So it's like, if I went into material at any point, I would have eaten my dick on a plate. So I just had to keep asking where everyone was from. I basically hosted from last position on the lineup. I don't know why. It's fun. It's exciting to see like a southern guy discover new races. That's the lesson of this night. Only on spots. Alright, I gotta go lie down.